Everyone, welcome to yet another episode of the FOMO. And today I have with me Ruchira Jain and Aditi Seni, my co-hosts. Uh, Thar variant, it's called Thar Roxx, which has really taken the market by the storm. It has done a few lakh bookings in a matter of 60 minutes. It kind of begets the question that what is this phenomena about Thar Roxx and in general about Thar, which the market is finding so fascinating. At a very functional level, what problem do you see Thar Roxx solving for the market that maybe the other manufacturers are not able to capture?
One of the things I feel what Thar Roxx is doing is that now SUV in general has become passe, right? Everybody's driving a SUV. So if I want to now have a SUV which makes head turns, I want to almost get an off-roader. And Thar Roxx brings its heritage and imagery of off-roader, which however has been contemporized and made more suitable to an urban lifestyle. And if a brand is able to bring a great mix of premiumness codes at the same time a distinctive imagery, then I think that's a great space to be in.
The product itself, if you see, obviously the design, it's very macho. It has a more aggressive appeal. So, when you are on the road with a design like that, with a beast like that, you do feel very much in control, right? And you feel powerful. You feel like more like, you own it. But I think where what Thar is doing with Thar Roxx as well, obviously it's more social perception out first and less of, a real off-roader. It's not a very comfortable car. It does exuberate the cues that, I'm very flamboyant, I'm very macho. And, I want to be looking a bit more intimidating, and it does the job on that. But it is definitely an urban car. It doesn't look like a product which is meant for off-roading.
Ruchira, I just wanted to come in on how do you see these codes over the last 20-25 years? Talk us through what has really happened and where is the future going from a masculinity projection perspective?
The resurgence of the more typical macho guy is pretty much the dominant code. And this is a guy who wants to be in charge. This is a guy who is fairly loud and assertive. And this is the guy who wants to drive the off-roader. The film stars like Yash, movies like Animal, they kind of project this masculinity, right? But I think what is the emergent code on masculinity, which we see going forward, is a more confident, what we've called the beard guy, right? This guy wants to move with the time. He's adaptable. He's coming back to the Thar Roxx, right? I think that's a great mix of this outdoor and at the same time urban. And that's why it's a new thing, right? It's somewhere in between. It's able to address to the macho guy. It's able to speak to the dominant code of the macho guy, as well as this new age guy, because it's distinctive, right?
Aditi, I want you to translate this from a more biking perspective.
Motorbiking is something which is more of a personal self-expression. So the codes of masculinity, the way they translate into motorbiking as a segment are very different from how it is, for your four-wheeler segment. When it comes to motorbiking, like how what Ruchira was saying, I think all those cues are very well integrated because that is more representative of who you are. So starting with, for example, if you look at Royal Enfield has very clear segmentations which talk to all these different codes of masculinity that Ruchira just now described, right? If you look at classics, your Thunderbird series, so all that is, your typical, animal and, in the alpha male philosophy, and the, that whole classic patriarchal, thinking about, why you want to own something like that and what you want to express through that.
Last word from both of you on how do you see this phenomena of this masculinity codes evolving translate into more design-centric products for men, products which, as you mentioned, Ruchira, which are not afraid to explore the feminine side of a man, right?
Absolutely. I think we can see both the bold, flamboyant kind of design language and also this mix of sleek and daring coming together, right? For example, now I'm seeing sedans with a very grill kind of a look up front, right? Fuel efficiency is obviously not a consideration when one goes to premium or luxury cars. It's all about imagery and look. But I think at the middle level also, even in the segment where people are fuel conscious, design is taking, as a primer. So the fact that car looks great is becoming a very important component even for mid-priced, vehicles. So in fact, design as an element on biking is maybe something that maybe personalization is a trend where you could choose certain color schemes and certain styles and therefore make it like a limited edition or something which has just been done for me is another thing that I see as an option.
To summarize, what I would say is that I think there's a sweet spot that exists between that beard man and the macho man. And I think if, the celebrity, frankly, that comes to my mind who hits that sweet spot very well is Ranveer Kapoor. He has the right mix of that sleekness and elegance and the suave with, that animal magnetism, which he was successfully able to depict in the movie Animal as well. And I think when it comes to cars or SUVs as a segment, I think Thar is just scratching the surface. Of course, it is disruptive versus what we have seen in the Indian market, but it is nowhere close to, I think, getting a product which has that macho appeal along with the beard cues all connected, getting into one, which can answer that, I am an off-roader and this is my self-expression. But at the same time, I'm also I want to showcase that I'm flamboyant, right? I think that combination, that balance has not yet been figured out in the SUV space. So I think there's a lot that still can be done in Indian market over there.
Lovely conversation as usual with both of you. Stay tuned, everyone, for the next episode, and